And the Oscar.
And the Grammy goes to...
Someone like me deals with a lot of pressure and stress and anxiety from, just being in the public eye and all that stuff. I firmly believe that you need something way worse to counter that you voluntarily subject yourself to.
Things when I was really in the thick of being massively depressed and not even have the motivation to get out of bed in the morning. Yeah. I felt so isolated and so alone because especially in the day and age of social media, and we're all guilty of it, everyone's life looks so perfect and everyone seems so filtered, abundantly happy that when you're miserable, you're like, why this? You feel so horrible about yourself. And so I'm trying to make it clear to people that what you see is what we choose to show you.
Fame is a dangerous drug. The research conducted shows that fame changes a person's life forever, and it is felt more as an impact or overnight experience rather than a gradual transition.
Experience of becoming famous, what's the most bizarre about it is intellectually that the world is exactly the same as it was yesterday. Because it is. The same things that matter, still matter. Sure. Except your subjective reality is altered forever because everybody treats you differently. So the world is the same, but your world is absolutely different and never will be the same again. And I'd always heard people say, well, you can't prepare for it, it just is something that you just have to kind of deal with, and everybody just deals with it with whatever tools they have, whatever their foundation is.
Joe Rogan recently talked on the effect of fame on mental health and what the fame trap really is, everything from how paparazzi stalk the stars. Let's listen to Joe Rogan and to the crazy stories of celebrities they spend to make a buck.
Has it always been when did that really, has it ramped up more in recent years, or have you kind of perpetually dealt with that since being, I don't know, you've been a public facing person for a long time now?
I've had it's like a trickle.
Yeah.
I've had a trickle of stardom.
Yeah.
It's slowly ramped up, and it's almost like snake venom. I've got a little more bitten enough so that I can tolerate it.
Yeah.
Because I've seen people that are really young that get really famous quickly, and it just wrecks them. It wrecks them psychologically, and also they don't understand how to manage the input, right? So they're reading comments about them. They're tweeting and then responding to tweets and going back and forth with people in Instagram comments. Goddamn thing. It's the only way. It's the only way you can stay sane.
Yeah.
My friend's I can't help myself. I'm you 100% can help yourself.
Yeah.
It's just don't look at it. It's not an option. I know I don't have that option.
People understand that it's important to pursue goals in their lives, and they believe that attaining these goals will have positive consequences. This study shows that this is not true for all goals.
With depression, when I was on top of the world, it became more and more and more depressed until it was suicidal thoughts and stuff like that.
People would assume that you had the money, you had the belts.
I had everything. I had money, fame, glory, good looks. I had it all. Everything that a man would ever want.
Good looks
I
is
had
subjective,
it.
sir.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. But still, I had everything, but yet it didn't mean nothing. I wanted to die on a daily basis.
We will also see how stars react to their own fame and how it has taken over their lives.
The most was how you are sort of brought up onto a pedestal and people revere you, and there's this big surge, and then all of a sudden they want to immediately label you as one thing as soon as possible. You know what I mean? This person can't be a multitude of different things. They have to be this. And you get a certain label, and it's kind of hard to shake that off.
Anything outside my house or my apartment doesn't ever really feel normal. It's just that it's just a fact that when I'm outside the doors of my apartment, people are watching me, and that's the life that I chose.
And you're okay with it?
I have days where I am, days where I'm not. Sometimes it feels absolutely stifling and overwhelming.
Being in the public eye opens you up to people's comments, opinions, and expectations. Famous people are also subjected to extreme media coverage, which brings with it an increase in anxiety and the fear of being stalked.
Yeah.
And I think that's very important because you're dealing with, with my case on my Instagram, I think it's 15 million people. That's a lot of fucking people, man. That's too many people. There's no way that's manageable. You can't interact with those people. People could say mean shit to you and it'll hurt your feelings. Why would you subject yourself to that?
Yeah.
But I think, even like articles written about you. You have to have perspective. You have to understand like who's right. Why are they doing this? They're doing this because you're successful. They're distorting who you are in order to make this look better. Yeah. So you have to do something, I believe, something to offset that. And one of the best things is really brutal exercise. Brutal physical exercise, and then sauna and cold plunge, in my opinion, are the very best things to mitigate the effects of that, because they're so hard to do that the other stuff just seems easy. It's like, someone said something mean about you, like, whatever.
Fame is fickle, so you can't afford to mess up or hold any contrary views for fear of losing it all. This pressure to maintain a certain acceptable public persona can result in psychological conditions like anxiety disorders.
Realize, oh my God, I'm one of those people. That's a small club, man. That's a weird place to be. Ain't really no going back. You can't get unfamous. You can get infamous, right? But you can't get unfamous.
Right.
Is that what I want for myself? Did I get too big? Because I like people. I like entertaining. And the higher up I go, for some reason, the less happy I am.
Have you ever had like a time you just had to totally disconnect from everything to mentally handle it? Or
no.
You're like pretty good about.
Yeah, just don't read about me.
Yeah.
Just read about other stuff. I mean, I feel like you're supposed to, look, there's people that live in war-torn parts of the world. There's people that were born in dirt floors and, they're dealing with rebels and they hear gunfire in the middle of the night and either their children get killed or their family members get killed. That's real problems.
Yeah.
But the problem is if someone's saying mean shit about you on Twitter, it only seems mean.
Yeah.
It seems awful because you're interacting with it. If you don't interact with it, it doesn't even exist.
It was a really, really, really crazy time for me, and I didn't want to see anybody because, for me, like I saw myself as letting so many people down, and me, myself in particular, and that's hard to carry. I'm now addressing these issues that I have, and I'm openly talking about them. I mean, I'm still struggling weekly or, from time to time I'll have bad days where I do go into a depression state.
It's hard to see your name in print in a negative way. It's hard to hear rumors about you that are not true. That pulls you away a little bit, and it's caused me to withdraw quite a bit, Everything about you is magnified. And your ugliness is really ugly. And that little pimple on your face is a huge bump.
All these diverse opinions about your life, criticism of you, and expectations about your conduct can cause extreme emotional stress. Most comments are also often cruel and insensitive because of the anonymity of social media.
Comes comment. Like that sitcom, it's coming. And when I got it, I won't say it was a depression, but you kind of go through a disappointment because that fame or that thing didn't satisfy the way you thought it was going to satisfy.